I'm actually one of those people that sort of decided at a very young age, I think kind of even high school, I actually wanted to go into medicine. And I think it was sort of multiple reasons, but number one is I enjoy the aspect of helping people and improving their lives. And then, and just trying to really make a difference in people's lives. And I think just the knowledge base of what we do in medicine, I think, is very fascinating to me as well. So I'm married. My wife is a psychiatrist. We actually met in medical school during like an orientation event. And then kind of a funny story is that we kind of talked a few times on the phone, and then we had planned what was supposed to be our first date. Well, at the time we lived in New Orleans. Hurricane Katrina actually happened the day before what was supposed to be our first date. So we kind of both went back and stayed with our respective parents for a few weeks, and then our school moved to Houston for the rest of the year. So we ended up having our first date about 4 or 5 weeks later, 300 or 400 miles away from where we intended to stay. So we kind of like to just joke around that, like, even the hurricane couldn't keep us apart. So I do like getting outside, just exercising, like I mentioned, just going for walks, other kind of outdoor activities, like we like to go camping, go canoeing at least once or twice a year. My wife and I really like to travel when we actually have the time. Last year, actually went on a really great trip to France. We spent some time in Paris and then in Normandy, including seeing like the D-Day beaches, which was a lot of fun. In terms of books, I kind of do a lot of different types of reading. I was actually a history major in college, and so I tend to read a lot of books on history. Especially my kind of main area of interest in that is the Revolutionary War period. And then one of the other areas that I really like to read is I've read the entire Harry Potter series, like probably multiple times each book. Quite a few different foods that I really like. Kind of some of them are sort of the traditional ones: steak, pizza. The other thing is, since I lived in New Orleans for 4 years, I really kind of love that style of food now. Jambalaya, gumbo, stuff like that. Well, my first car was a Datsun Sentra. It was as old as me. It was a really awful yellow, sort of off yellow color. Kind of rusted quite a bit on the bottom, sort of a hand-me-down from my parents. It was a stick shift, which kind of was somewhat of an issue for me at first, but it actually had 5 gears, but the fifth gear never really worked. It just sort of automatically put itself back into fourth gear no matter what you do. So luckily I lived really close to school, because you really couldn't even take the car on the highway. I don't think I could take that car above about 50 miles an hour. I like to think that I'm, a guy that people around, really take an interest in the people that I'm around. Really enjoy getting to know people, whether it's patients, other people I work with, and just really want to do whatever I can to kind of help people out.